Hari Om. Good evening, girls. Today in this video, we are going to discuss how a web application can be created using Visual Studio 2019 in .NET environment that uses C# language. We have already covered how a desktop application can be created, and we have also seen some of the user controls, how it can be added to a form, and what are the different properties of these user controls. In this video, we are going to discuss how to create a web application which can be opened in a web browser. Okay. So as usual, we start with create new project. I go for creating a new project, and you can see here for desktop application we have selected desktop, right? Whereas if you want to create a web application, go down and you can see here web, select the web application, and you have lots of web applications. All these things will be available. We go for the .NET Framework ASP.NET web application. So I choose this ASP.NET web application using .NET environment, and I click next. It will be asking you what is the project name you want. So let us call it as first web application. I call it as first web app. Then you can go for creating it. So it asks you now what is the kind of web application you want to create. Let us go for creating an empty application. For the time being, we are not going to create the basic MVC or web forms or API. I go for an empty web application. So you click on empty web application and you click create, which will be creating a project in the name first web app. It will be creating a blank web application. We can start adding the web forms etc. in the application. So this will be the interface once you have created a web application, which will be an empty web application. And when you look into the Solution Explorer, we have already seen the Solution Explorer is the window in which we have all the resources and the files that are used in the project. All these things will be listed here. And since it is a empty web application, it shows these are the different resources that are associated with my web application. Now, since it is a empty web application, I don't have any web page that is available. So I'm going to add a web form to my application. Let us see how to add it. You just go to the Solution Explorer, and here you will have the project name. Right click on the project name, and you will have add menu. Go to the add menu, and there you can see whatever things that can be added, from which I'm going to select a web form. I already told you the application that we created is an empty web application. We are going to now add a web form to our application. So I have added. So let me call it as home page. I'm going to call it as home page. Yeah, I call it as home page. Click OK. Now it has added a web page, and you can see here it has added a homepage.aspx. Okay. Yeah, I have added it. Good. Now when you see a web page, you can see here the web page extension is ASPX. When you browse through the internet, some of the web applications will be ending with ASPX. You can easily understand that is developed using a .NET environment. ASP is nothing but active server page. Please make a note of it. It was active server page. So earlier we were developing only ASP, and now in the .NET environment the latest versions are creating ASPX. Now what we are going to do, when you take the ASPX page, you can see here three tabs are available. The design, which will be showing you a design editor, source that shows you the HTML editor, and if you want both HTML as well as the design editor, you can click on split. So it will show you the design editor as well as the HTML editor. So you have the design editor alone, you have the HTML editor alone, or use split for showing both HTML as well as the design editor. Okay, so for the time being I go with the design editor. So this is where we are going to add all the user control. So when you open this, you will be having a page, a blank web page, and all the user controls, whatever user controls you want, all those things you can add here. Okay, so you can see on you have a body. In the HTML you will be having the body in which you will display the contents of a web page. So what I do, I click on this body and you can see here div tag appears, which is a division tag. So I just press enter key. So whatever controls you want in the web page you can add in this division. So what I do now, I just type hello world. As usual we will have always the hello world program as the first program. I have hello world, right? So that means I have created one web page using .NET framework that uses C# language. Fine, I have created. Now I'm going to run the application. Remember, this is a web application. If it is a web application, we can open the web application only in a web browser. Please make a note of it. All the web applications can be opened only in a web browser. So what I do now, I go here. In the desktop application, you might have seen here a start button, start debugging button, right? But since it is a web application, you can't have just a start button, debugging button. You have to specify what is the browser you want to use. What is the browser you want to use? I'm going to select the Google Chrome. I'm going to select Google Chrome so that my web application will open in Google Chrome. Okay. Now I'm going to click on the start button. So my web application started building the application. Yes, there is build is succeeded. So it opens a web page. The web page is homepage.aspx and it is loading and it is displaying hello world. So this is the web page what I have created for the time being, right? So what we have done here, I have created an empty web application project. I right click on the project name, added a web form. After adding the web form, we have discussed what are these three tabs available. Then we have seen how a division inside a body can be added with the information. I just typed hello world text and I started running the application using the web browser, which is a Google Chrome web browser. Fine. Now we are going to have a dynamic web application. This is a static web application because whenever you open this application, you can see only the hello world. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a login page. I'm going to create a login page. So let us call this login page as, since we are all going on online classes, let me call it as online tutorial system. online tutorial system. Yes, I'm going to add username and I'm going to have password. Good. Now what I do, I'm going to add a text box for entering the username. So just go to the toolbox, double click on the text box. The text box will be added. Go to the next location. Again, go to the next location here. Here I want to add the text box. So I click there. I double click on the text box. The second text box is also added. Now the last one, you need a button to click login. So just add a button, and now the caption is button, so I am going to just change it to login. Yeah, we are done. So your first web page is created. See how simple it is using .NET environment. What we have done, we called it as online tutorial system. This is simple text and you have username password as the text. You are going to have two text boxes for entering the username and the password. Right. Now this is your login button. Good. Now what I'm going to do, this password, when you are going to let us try running the application, right? Okay, so I'm going to run the application. I run the application, it opens in the browser Google Chrome. Yeah, you can start typing username and you are typing the password. Oh my god, the password is shown now. Usually when you type the password, you want it as dot 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 or star star star, right? But here it is showing you the character. So let us see how to resolve it. And not only that, when I click login, it is not responding because I have not added any code for the button click event. Okay, so let me close it. Yeah, what is the first thing I have to do? In the password, I have to change it to the password text box. So what you do, you go to the properties and in the properties you have a property called as text mode. You have the property called as text mode, and in the text mode you select it as password. So when you select it as password, let us see what happens. I run the application now. I run it. It opens in the browser. Now I type the username and I am going to type the password. Now it sees, sorry, it shows dots and not the characters. Okay, so this is how you can set a password text box to take dots or some special characters. Good. Now what I have to do, I should start adding some code here for the login. Yeah. So you double click on the login button. It will take you to the click event handler button one underscore click as you do for your desktop application. Yeah. Now what I have to do, whatever username and password I am typing, that must be verified and it must redirect you to some other web page. Let us try that. Okay, what we are going to do, we are going to verify the username and password entered in the text box. If it is verified, you are going to redirect it to the another, sorry, you're going to redirect to another web page. Okay, let us see how to do that. I'm going to just check if the text box one dot text is equal to a username like this, and text box 2 must be equal to Harita, right? So this is the username and this is the password I'm going to have. So if the entered value is this is just for the time being. I'm going to check it with the direct data, and we never take the direct data in our code. We generally have all the usernames and password in our database. So your web application will be connected to the database. From the database, it retrieves the username and password. Then you start verifying it, right? That is what we generally do. Here, just for the demo, I'm directly taking the value of username and password. Fine. Okay. So if so, what I'm going to do, I'm going to redirect. So how do you redirect? You say request dot redirect. Sorry, not request. It is response. You want a response now, right? You want a response when you click the login button. So take the response object, redirect it to where you want to redirect. Just for the time being, let me take it as I want to redirect my web page to Google. Google.co.in. Let us go for India's. Fine. Okay. So what I have done now, I check what is the username and password entered. If the username and password entered is Anita and Harita, I am going to redirect to a Google web page. Fine. So now let us start running the application. Let us see. Yes, build is succeeded. That means there is no error. Yeah. I'm going to type my name. I type the password here, Harita, and when I click login, it takes me to google.co.in. Right? Suppose you reload the page, you type Anita, and I'm going to type some other password, a longer password, not Harita. When I click login, it is not taking me to that particular page. It is not taking me to that particular page. And if you want, you can show a label here. Let us try that also. Okay. So if it is Anita Harita, it takes me to Google's page. Else what I'm going to do, I want to display. Right. So generally you will have the invalid username and password appearing somewhere like this. So add a label for that. Add a label. Okay. So in the label, initially when you load the page, go to the label, and I will not be having any text for the label for the time being when I load it. Okay. But when I have this label 1 dot text becomes invalid username and password. Great. Let me save it. Start running your application. Yes, you are done with the application. Yes, enter Anita and enter the password. If it is correct password, it takes me to the Google page. It redirects me to the Google page. Now I am going to type a wrong password. I click login and it shows me invalid username and password. Right? So now your application becomes a dynamic application or an interactive application. Close it. Yeah. So this is a website or a URL which is already existing. Now let us assume that when I click the login button, I want the response to be redirected to another web form which I am going to create in the same application, and there it has to say my username is Anita. So there it has to say me, hello Anita, welcome. For the online tutorial system, I am going to take it to the second web page, And the second web page, it must call me Hello Anita, whatever username I'm typing. Hello Anita, welcome. So what I do here, I'm going to add a second web form. Correct? First web form is home page. So second web form, I'm going to add, go to the Solution Explorer, right click on the Solution Explorer, click Add menu, add a new web form, call it as Welcome Form. Call it as welcome form, click OK. So welcome form is also added, and you can see here homepage.aspx is added in the Solution Explorer. The second web form welcome form.aspx is also added. Go to the design editor. What do you want there? You want hello, and after hello you want whatever name is entered in the home page username, that must appear here. So let me have a label for that. Label. Then I say hello Anita, welcome to online tutorial system. So this is what I want in the second page. So when I click here, when I click login, it must take me to the welcome form. There, whatever username I have typed here, if it is verified, that username, if it is a correct username and password, that username must appear here. Okay. Now what I have to do for that? Go to the login button code. Here what we have done, when we redirected to a common URL which is already existing. So now what I'm going to do, I'm not going for the URL. I go for the welcome form. Spelling it is welcome form .aspx. Okay. So what it will do? The response will redirect me to welcome form.aspx. But when you are redirecting to another web form, you need to take the values that are entered in the home form to the welcome form. Yes or no? I repeat, when you redirect from home page to welcome form, you need to take the username value to this particular form. So for which we use a concept called query string. I'm going to use the concept called query string. We will be discussing all these things in detail, what is a query string, etc. Just for the time being, you understand a query string. We are going to add a query string. How do you add the query string? Put the question mark after ASPX, then whatever you are adding after the question mark, it becomes the query string. So your query string will be always in a name and value pair. It is a name and value pair. So what is the value you are going to pass? For that you have to give a name also. So let me call it as uname, because we are going to pass username. So I am going to call it as username. Then I say equal to. Then the value, whatever value is typed in the first text box, that must be given here. So what I do, you just simply add the text box 1 dot text. Great. So what happened now? When you redirect, it goes to welcome form.aspx. At the same time, it takes a name value pair. What is the name of the query string? First query string name will be uname. And what is the value passed here for uname? It is the text box 1 content. Okay. Yes. So it will be taking you to this particular form. Yeah. Now when you come to this form, what you have to do? When it redirects to this form, the label must have the data entered in the user name. So what you are going to do? You double click on the form, you will be taken to page load event. So there what you have to do, you have to give a value for this label. So the text of this label will be now, what will be the label? Whatever request has come in, you go to the request object. In the request object, you have a value called, a property called query string. So which property you want? The user name that is entered. So you can observe here, we have given the query string name as username, and this will be the value. So to get this value, what we have done, we have said from the request page, take the query string that has the name as username. So this has to be assigned to label one.text. Okay, so this is the only code I am going to add. Let us see what happens in my application. I go to the home page. I start running my application. Yes, my application opens. I enter my username. I enter the password. I click on login. You can see here it says hello Anita. That is the username I have typed. Welcome to online tutorial system. So now what you have done, you have redirected from one web page to another web page. Not only that, you have passed this value from one web page to another web page. And when you observe the URL, your redirection path says that it is welcomeform.aspx, and whatever you have typed in as a query string, that also appears here. So whatever you type here, that will be taken to the next web page as a query string. So this is a simple web application that shows how a web application can be created, how you can add web forms to the web application, how you can redirect from one web page to another web page, and how you can give values from how you can pass values from one web page to another web page. So that is what we discussed in this video. I think it will be clear for you, and please see that you explore further on all the properties that are available, something like changing the color of the button, changing the font of the button, changing the caption, changing the different text type. All those things you can further explore, and please do experiment on the demo program. Thank you, girls.